Hi guys, so welcome. In this video we'll be talking about return statements. So you can see already we already use a return statement in our main function. Alright, so let's do that and let's see it again. So right here we say int main, and we have a return statement here that says 0. So this is the exit point of our function, our main function, that shows that the function or the code has run successfully. But also in the functions that we create, okay, we can also return statements to be used in another function. So you can create a function that returns a value that can be used in another function. So how do we do that? Let's assume previously we used to have something like void. Then let's say what should this do? So let's say square. Let's say square num, and it's going to take the value of x, just one x. And what do we do with it? So this function, all it does is it gives you the square of a number. All right, so we'll say something like, let's say we want this as a double. Okay, so x times x, so it's giving us the square of x. Okay, so double num, so we'll call this double num. So num is going to hold the value of x times x. Now if you want to use this function, like you want to return the value to be used somewhere else, all we need to do is to say return what? Return num. So we are returning num now, and now that we are returning num, if we call this variable here, if we call it, so the variable is square num, you can see that we need to send in an argument. Okay, so what argument we are going to send? Let's send in 9. All right, let's check what we get on the outputs. Okay, so you can see the very first issue we have here is the void. Now that you are returning something, you cannot call it void anymore. You know why? Because you are returning a value. So we have to let it match the value of what we are returning. And what are we returning? We are returning a double. Just like here, we are returning an integer. Okay, so here we are returning a double. So we say double. And let's rerun our code. And as you can see, there is no value. And why is that? That is because we are returning the value, but we are not using it. So now the function is working properly, but now we need to use the return value that we have set. Okay, so how do we use that? We can create a new variable here and just say something like, let's call it another double. So we are collecting the double here, and double square, so we can call this square. Double square is equal to square num, and now we can print out the value. We can do anything we want to do with it. So we can say the square of 9 is the format specifier of a double and square. Okay, and now let's run this. And as you can see, the square of 9 is 81. All right, so this is basically how to set a function, give it a value, a parameter, and get it to return a value to the main function. And when you get to the main function, you accept the value by declaring the function, and you can do anything you want with the results of the returned value from the initial function. So guys, this is it on the return statement in functions. I'll see you in the next one.